What happens next in Israel? Part 18. Point 2. Special update. What has recently happened that was written about in videos 1, 6, 7, and 11 of what happens next in Israel, published in 2016. Video 1 of what happens next in Israel, 2016, had codes from the Hebrew scriptures stating that there will not be a two-state solution with a Palestinian state bordering a Jewish state. After the Trump declaration, the two-state solution has been called dead. Videos 6 and 7 of what happens next in Israel in 2016 indicated that Israel would gain land in 2017. The declaration of Trump that Jerusalem is the capital caused Islamic rage, but gave boldness to religious Jews who began to settle the West Bank and Jerusalem at a very rapid pace, with the help of the new defense minister. This trend is continuing in early 2018, though Muslims rage and most of the entire world has condemned Israel's rapid gain of land. Video 11 of what happens next in Israel in 2016 showed a U.S. drone taken by Iranians and later replicated and mass-produced. Video 11 stated that Ezekiel 38 invaders will use drones. On 2/11/2018, Netanyahu showed part of a shot-down Iranian drone copied from a U.S. drone. The Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. The Jubilee began in the spring of 2017 and will end in the spring of 2018. More land may be returned to Israel before the end of the month Nisan. In 2017, Jews won the war for the Temple Mount. Eliyahu Berkowitz, January 3rd, 2018. Now the nation is expressing its connection to our holiest site, and we can say in all sincerity that Temple Mount is in our hands. We will raise the flag on the Temple Mount 50 years after the unification of Jerusalem. This is the reality we live in. The past year has been a watershed that brought the third temple closer. President Trump has just declared Jerusalem to be Israel's capital. This has an enormous influence on what will happen on the Temple Mount. Rabbi Weiss explained that this is more than an internal Jewish matter. The Temple Mount is the center of the world. He said, when meaningful changes are made here, positive changes will appear around the world. Hamas urged a new uprising against Israel after the Trump declaration. The Turkish leader, Erdogan, said the city was a red line in a threatening manner. This is a slide from Video 1, 2016. And it states that there will never be a two-state solution while Netanyahu is Prime Minister. January 5th, 2018, New York Times. Israel digs a grave for the two-state solution. 2016 slide from Video 11 states Iran has given Russia a copy of a U.S. spy drone. And now, look what happened in February 2018. Here's another slide from Video 11. Netanyahu is holding a part of an Iranian drone that entered Israel from Syria. Video 11 also states that drone swarms will be used by the Ezekiel 38 invaders. Clouds of drones. An emboldened Israeli right wing is making it difficult to create a Palestinian state. They're looking for the annexation of Jewish settlements in the West Bank and In Jerusalem, they want to rid the city of several overwhelmingly Palestinian neighborhoods. They want a single Jewish state from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean. The time has come to express our biblical right to the land. Trump's statement has opened the floodgates of Jewish expansionism. The December 31st resolution calling for annexation of West Bank settlements is sending a tough message to Palestinians. In the Jubilee year, land is returned to original owners. And that's what's happening here at the end of 2017. The green areas are the diminishing areas of the so-called Palestinians, who have really just been Arab squatters on Jewish land. The Justice Minister explains why Trump is good for her West Bank plan. The Defense Ministry touts better security. West Bank settlements are necessary for Israel's defense. Start preparing for 1 million settlers in the West Bank. Defense Minister Lieberman lives in the West Bank, which most of the world says is illegal. Jews are now obeying the Torah by living in the land. Yes, there's been an increase in violence. Annexing more and more parts of the West Bank will lead to the Palestinians being surrounded by so many Israelis that the areas of Palestinians will become like small reservations that the Native Americans were confined to as whites covered the vast western areas of the United States in the 1800s. Jews, however, are returning to their native lands that Arabs have been squatting on. There's been an increase of rocket fire from Gaza. The Brookings Institute says that an Israeli-Hezbollah war is almost certain to occur and to drag in external actors, bringing Levantine security to a new low. Hezbollah shows off stolen U.S. weapons to threaten Israel. Things that relate to the Levant are called Levantine, and here we see the Levant, which Turkey once controlled. The Levant may be occupied by Israeli ground forces to prevent the firing of many missiles that were stored by Hamas and Hezbollah. Israel cannot afford to enter those lands and withdraw without stopping rocket fire as they did in the 2006 war in Lebanon. Now, Iraqi Shiite militias are inside Syria. ISIS attacks in Egypt's North Sinai late last year. The gold dots show bases of Iran and Iranian allies in Syria that were attacked by Israel. The red dots show how many bases that were not attacked. Lebanon states it's ready for war with Israel in response to military aggression or any attempt to invade by land or sea. With Iran operating in Syria, Israel girds itself for the first northern war. Some Middle Eastern nations were established with borders that do not relate to the people within them because they were not based on the tribes and sects that are more important than borders. This is a common thing in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, and even Egypt. The tribes listed in Psalm 83 are the areas of nations that are not controlled by those nations. Hamas, Hezbollah, ISIS, PLO, and others listed here act without restraint from the nations they reside in. Israel has told those nations that are listed here that Israel must respond to missiles that come from them. An invasion may be required. Pause the tape and look at the research here that identifies the areas listed in Psalm 83. To stop the missiles, Israel may fight the West Bank, PLO, Hamas in Gaza, elements of ISIS operating in Sinai, Islamic Brotherhood in Jordan, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hezbollah in Syria by the Golan, a Shiite Mahdi militia coming from Iraq to training camps in Syria, Syrians loyal to Assad, and Lebanese. Psalm 83 named tribes from areas near these present-day Israeli neighbors. The above forces are in those areas surrounding Israel now. Subscribe for more future updates. Pray for low casualties in Israel. For more information and ways that you can help us to blow the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm, you may contact us, Hope of Israel, by email, shlomo1335@gmail.com. Ask for Shlomo. I'm Yisrael Kai. You may like us on Facebook and comment on Twitter and Tumblr.